Someone I was talking to recently said that you sit and you listen and you answer every question that they ask, you know, and if you have time to just go through it and their spiel with them. And he said that I tell them at the very end, okay, I have sat and listened to you. Now, will you answer a few questions for me?
Uh-oh.
And some say yes, some just hang up. Well, either way, they're the ones hanging up, not you. You know. And he'll say, if you were to die today, and God were to ask you, why should I let you into my heaven? What would you say? And then the conversation ensues from there. And then he would share the gospel with them. Isn't that neat? Mm-hmm. It's really, because they have actually invaded our space. They're calling us. So why do we just get irritated and tell them we're busy, we don't have time? Hang up. You know, if we could, for the sake of Christ and for their eternal destiny, could we not sit and listen to a little bit of their spiel and then share? Think about the people in your life, people you love, people who don't know Christ. And how would you feel if someone witnessed to them? If someone shared Christ with them somewhere? I mean, wouldn't you want that? It seems like you're the only one ever talking to them. But what if some obedient Christian out there somewhere just decided, maybe they were standing in line behind them in that Walmart or something, someone just decided to talk to them about Jesus? Wouldn't that be awesome? Because then it's not just you. And so when we step out in boldness and boldly proclaim the mystery of the gospel of Christ, we could be a useful instrument in the life of someone else who has someone praying for them. Well, I gave her this. I said, would you accept this New Testament? In the beginning, it has a lot of emotions, like anger. Where do you read when you have anger? When you're fearful, where do you read? You've seen those. Well, those little New Testaments have those. And she said, oh. She said, I didn't know that. That's really neat. She says, that's really helpful because I didn't ever know where to read in the Bible. I wanted to read the Bible, but I didn't know where. And, you know, opening it up to Genesis like everyone thinks they should do and start reading, you know, until they run out of steam in Leviticus. And she says, that's really neat, that's helpful. And I said, yeah, and at the back, we learned this from a Gideon lady. And I said, at the back, then it shows you how to have a personal relationship with Christ. And she said, oh, well, that's really neat. And that's all I said. You know, I didn't lead her to Christ or anything, but she knows that where to look in the Bible. So she knows about the front part with all the headings, and then she knows about the back part, how it helps her to know. And so we don't know what ever happened.
But she came back several times, and it's pretty interesting because I thought she was going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
She was spending so much time around us, but nobody even noticed. I mean, God just, you could tell, God just put that in there. So she didn't get in trouble, but she kept coming back to us.
She did.
All through the time we were there. It was so weird.
There was something about it.
Yeah.
Something about whatever she was feeling. It was the Lord.
Yeah.
You know, she was drawn to it. Mm-hmm. And who knows, I don't know what happened, but Mickey didn't know what happened to me either, what would happen with anyone when she put that tract in the bag. And we don't know whatever happened to her, but we prayed for her, and I still think about her once in a while, and I know God is faithful. It says in Philippians 1:6 that He's faithful to complete that which He has begun. Yeah. So what if all of us would do that with our waitress, or waiter, our server?
When I was, I had walked away from God years and years ago. And this lady walked up and handed me my tip and handed me a tract. I didn't even, I was mad. I shoved that thing in my pocket.
You were like a Jonah, were you? Because you were already a believer, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I shoved that tract in my pocket. Well, you know, I went about my day. And then when I went to go count my tips, I had forgotten about it by the time I went to count my tips. And it was the first thing I pulled out. And it said, no matter what you've done, and I opened it up, and it said, Jesus still loves you, and I lost it. I mean, people thought somebody had died. I was crying so hard. And they're like, are you okay? Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
No, I'm not. Wow. Right.
So even you, I mean, you never know what small little thing
Right.
can break, that chain that it was holding me away from God. But
Yeah.
so
yeah.
it's amazing. I go back and
Yes.
think about that. For years I had that tractor. I have no clue what I did with it now, but
Yeah.
for
What a
years I
great
kept it
story.
as a reminder. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. If we're going to acknowledge Christ in our server's life, before our server, if we're going to, say his name and offer to pray for him or her, or anything like that, we better leave a good tip, don't you think?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like higher than normal.
And not just a tract.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. I was
Yes.
a waitress. I know. I've gotten tracts. And
I know that.
And you're furious because it's like, that's great. I'm a single mom. Go ahead, give me a
Right.
tract.
Give
This
me
is
a
helpful.
tract, and you don't see it as this is really living water
Right.
that you'll never thirst again. You don't see that. You're
Yeah.
wanting to feed your family, and some Christian gives you a tract. At least leave a tip. Keep that in mind. So whatever we do spiritually is backed up by our action. We want to hear his still small voice. And he gives us opportunities if we'll listen and if we'll pray. And we'll just like a quiet, silent prayer, Lord, give me something that this person needs. I love that. That's really good. And all we're responsible to do is speak the message. We're ambassadors. We're the messengers. We're not responsible for the outcome. He's just asked us to go and tell. And we go and tell. We do what Jonah did the second time.